What if your boss called a meeting and only half of you walked out alive? What if applause was your only defense? What if smiling at the wrong moment meant you disappeared? This isn't fiction. This is what really happened in Iraq. In a single televised speech, when Saddam Hussein eliminated his enemies in front of a live audience, and the cameras kept rolling the whole time. In July 1979, Saddam Hussein officially took power as the president of Iraq. But even before that, he was pulling strings behind the scenes, using fear, torture, and political purges to climb the ladder of the Ba'ath Party. Saddam didn't just want control, he wanted total obedience. And he knew his first move as president had to send a message. Loyalty wasn't enough. You had to prove it or pay the price. So he staged the show. The televised purge. On July 22, 1979, Saddam called a special meeting of the Ba'ath Party's top leadership. Hundreds of officials filled the grand hall. The cameras were rolling. Everyone was told it would be a speech to celebrate Saddam's rise to power. Instead, it turned into a nightmare broadcast. Halfway through the speech, Saddam changed his tone. He claimed there was a conspiracy and that someone in the room was a traitor. Then he pulled out a list. One by one, he began reading names. Those named stood, were escorted out by guards, and never came back. Applause or death. Inside the hall, the mood changed instantly. Moments ago, they were clapping for their new president. Now, they were clapping to survive. As Saddam read names from his list, men stood up, visibly shaken, and were escorted out. No one knew where they were being taken, but everyone suspected they weren't coming back. The rest of the room was paralyzed, and yet they applauded louder. They smiled wider. Some stood to cheer, pretending to celebrate, while their colleagues vanished before their eyes. It was a twisted performance. Applaud hard enough, and maybe you live. Look nervous, you might be next. Even Saddam's pauses between names were deliberate, stretching the silence, watching the fear build. No one dared to speak. No one dared to blink. And through it all, the cameras kept rolling. This wasn't a purge. It was psychological warfare, live and on tape. The execution aftermath. Those taken from the hall weren't just fired. They were interrogated, tortured, and executed, some within hours. But Saddam didn't stop there. In a move straight out of a horror script, he forced the remaining Ba'ath Party members, the survivors, to participate in the purge. Some were ordered to witness the executions. Others had to pull the trigger themselves, killing colleagues they had shared dinner with days before. It wasn't just about loyalty anymore. Saddam made them complicit. He made them cross a line they could never uncross. By involving them in the bloodshed, he ensured their silence. Because speaking out later wouldn't just expose him, it would expose them. This was more than a purge. It was a transformation, turning a room full of political men into a machine of control, built on fear, shame, and guilt. By the time the dust settled, hundreds were gone, and those who remained were prisoners in suits. Why was it broadcast? The purge wasn't just an internal move, it was public strategy. Saddam made sure every Iraqi household saw it. Clips from the meeting aired on state television. News anchors praised the wisdom of rooting out traitors. The message was clear. If I can do this to my inner circle, imagine what I'll do to you. Saddam didn't hide his brutality. He turned it into a warning on prime TV. The legacy of terror. This one event, a televised purge, set the tone for Saddam's entire regime. No one felt safe. Paranoia spread from the palace to the streets. Even Saddam's own family wasn't exempt. Years later, he would execute his sons-in-law for disloyalty after luring them home with promises of forgiveness. By turning fear into theater, Saddam created a system where everyone clapped and no one trusted anyone. This wasn't leadership, it was survival through spectacle, and it worked for decades. It looked like a speech, it felt like celebration, but it was a trap, engineered by a man who understood the power of the camera. Saddam didn't just eliminate threats, he made people watch, he made them cheer, and in doing so, he didn't just control a country, he terrified it into obedience. That day on TV wasn't just a purge, it was a live demonstration of dictatorship. What happens when power is built not on trust, but on fear? Click to see how another leader rose, ruled, or fell, and subscribe so you don't miss the moments that define history's darkest corners.